Apostle Professor Joseph Kantanka has been read. They say that they would be giving out details of the will and testament in the coming days. And then comes another national debate. Government has announced a 3-month suspension on the use of firearms by civilians. Supporters describe it as necessary for public safety, while civil society organizations argue the directive was rushed and raises important legal and constitutional questions. And while many Ghanaians are watching on the ground, another threat is quietly growing online. The Cybersecurity Authority says fraudulent online investment schemes have already cost victims more than 3.4 million Ghana cedis in just 6 months in this year. Hundreds have lost money chasing promises of quick wealth through social media and mobile money platforms. This morning, we examine leadership, public safety, economic resilience, and digital security, because protecting a nation doesn't only happen on our streets, it also happens in our institutions, our laws, and increasingly in our phones. This is ABC in the morning. Stay with us. Now let's bring you the quote of the day. Today's quote of the day is by very celebrated footballer Cristiano Ronaldo. He says, "Talent without working hard is nothing." And I mean, he'll be one to know that a very hard-working footballer. Unfortunately for him, he and his country, Portugal, have been eliminated from the ongoing 2026 FIFA World Cup. But indeed, he reminds us that talent alone is not enough. You should add hard work. Hard work is a very important commodity. Hard work never killed anybody. And so let us include hard work in our talent and become better than we found ourselves earlier. Well, this is ABC in the morning here on ABC News GH with me, ABENA MANTE. Thank you so much for joining us on this very beautiful morning. We'll bring you the newspaper headlines. We'll bring you conversations that matter. And then I'll open the phone lines where you can call me and share your thoughts with me on Ghana Speaks, because it is what you say that matters. Your voice matters, and your voice alone is what we would want to hear when it's time for Ghana Speaks. We're streaming live Facebook and YouTube, ABC News GH. And so like our page, subscribe to the page, and turn on post notifications. That way, whenever we are live, you too will be notified that ABC in the morning is live. And interact with us via our socials at ABC News GH _ and our website is www.abcnewsgh.com, where we bring you the news as it happens and in real time. A big thank you to the production and technical team for putting together today's show, coming to you live on your screens from here, ABC News GH. We'll take a very quick break. When we return, we turn our attention to the newspapers. Do stay.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye, easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available.
Some things never change. Trends come and go, but in your cooking, you still choose the tomato mix you trust. Because real quality never changes. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
The culture never chills, and neither do we. Viral moments, breaking stories, new drops, exclusive interviews, spotlight artists shaping the sound right now, and our African star of the week taking over timelines. Then it's straight to the top 10, the songs running the streets, owning your playlist and living rent-free in your head. No skips, just heat, pure vibes. This is The Rundown, your ultimate destination for everything entertainment.
back. You're still watching ABC in the morning live here on ABC News GH. Let's turn our attention to the newspapers. The Daily Guide newspaper, Kwajo Safo confirmed Christo Asafo leader in will. This is what the Daily Guide newspaper is reporting. Also on the front page of the newspaper, ex-NAFCO boss sweats in BNI custody, denied access to lawyers. We already know that his lawyers say they would be taking legal action against the Attorney General, his deputy, and the executive director of the Bureau of National Investigations. We'll see where this matter goes. Also on the front page of the Daily Guide, Asanteman has a new Asantehima. Nana Ama Bonsu outdoored new Asantehima. Also on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper, GHS students slashed with machete for fondling seniors' breast. Parents, teach your children to keep their hands by themselves. Otherwise, somebody would harm them. Sexual assault in any form is not good. Want to meet plea bargain talks extended to July 27. These are the stories on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. When we turn our attention to the Ghanaian Times newspaper, Sakumono Lagoon and the siege, indiscriminate dumping turns wetland into landfill. My concern is how we are treating our wetlands, our Ramsar sites. If we are not building in them, we are piling refuse into them. We'll need more education on the importance of our wetlands and what they do for our land. We really need more education, because if we had more education and we knew better, I don't think we'd be doing what we are doing. Because I refuse to believe that it is a case of being just, I want to find the right word, but I refuse to believe that it's just as being ridiculous about the way we treat our natural resources. Wetlands are important to our ecosystem. We kill our wetlands, we're killing ourselves essentially. Let's do better. Otunfo say to the second names Nana Mabonsu as 15th Asantehima Nana Wonkwaso. The Ghana Health Service steps up malaria fight as rain sets in. Like I've been telling you, please do well that you will clear all stagnant waters from ponds and puddles. Do well to keep your surroundings clean. Do not leave any water that can become stagnant and invite the Anopheles to lay eggs, and then mosquito will spread. We cannot deal with mosquito at this point. And so yes, as the Ghana Health Service steps up the fight against malaria, let's also do our bit. Upper West, please intercept 50,000 ammunition. 3 suspects are arrested. And also on the front page of the Ghanaian Times, coalition calls for review of civilian gun license revocation. This follows the Ministry of the Interior's revocation of all gun licenses. They've already told us that if you want to register your gun, you should start the process all over again, but you're not going to pay because you already paid when you licensed your gun already. Finally, ECOWAS chairman consoles Ghana over deadly floods. And away from the Ghanaian Times, newspaper, the Daily Graphic tells us special needs education now free. Government allocates 100 million Ghana cedis for implementation. All right, this will do well to bridge the gap, and we hope that some more allocation is made for special needs education. MTN Business Partners graphic to deliver trusted business intelligence. Okay, interesting. We'll look forward to that. And Ghana can solve climate crisis without waste infrastructure financing. Minister says so, and it's true. It's true. We really need to treat our waste proper. All right. Away from Daily Graphic, the Daily Times newspaper. Honorable Musa Abdul Rashid champions community-led peace building and reintegration at Strong Cities Network Forum in Accra. All right. Mahama declares July 10 to 11 National Cleanup Days. We also want to see what government is doing to deal with the situation we have. Cleanup alone is not enough. We've seen it one too many times. We clean, we remove all the rubbish from the gutters. We leave them at the perimeter of the gutter. It dries up and it goes back into the gutters. Such a waste of time. And so we need to do better with this issue. Sanitation war, KMA, summon. All right. Swoops on dirty homes, arrests 13. Okay, Saman. And okay, all right. And we know what Saman is, right? In Accra, what do we call them? Tankers. Okay, yes, tankers. And there's an editorial on the front page or in the Daily Times that is on education, revisiting the useless degrees debate. I don't think any degree is useless. We just understand that, depending on the home you're coming from, the degree you are going for will determine where you're going. And so people go for degrees not because I maybe love the course, but because it is what will fetch me money. But I don't think any degree is useless. So far as we are running it in our universities and it is adding to academic knowledge, it is adding to us as a people, I don't think any degree is useless. I think because of where we find ourselves as a people, everything we do should be about what brings food onto our table. And that's what makes us call some degrees useless. But I do not agree that we have useless degrees. Away from the Daily Times, let's look at some more newspapers. The Dispatch newspaper says VIP no Pokwa German likely to contest for the 2028 NDC flag bearer slot. All the best to her when she decides to. From disaster relief to disaster resilience, you should go to page 3 of the Dispatch to read that. Paul Afoko is still making the waves. He wants to come back as chairman of the New Patriotic Party. Will the party give him the opportunity? We'll see. But he says that the NPP needs a unifier now. Please remain steadfast in challenging circumstances. Reverend Steve Wengam of the Assemblies of God tells us that. Let's move on to more newspapers. The Daily Searchlight. Ayepe, GRDA CEO clash over trains. All right. Ghana Security Agency's biggest rights abusers of constitutional and human rights of Ghanaians. Private legal practitioner Justice Abdullahi says so. I tend to agree with him. Let's see how better they can do. Hanan's arrest based on frozen bank accounts claim comical. Godfred Dame says so. UPSC commissions J.K. Hogley Transport and Logistics Center. All right. Let's move away from that onto more newspapers. The Overseer. Government declares 2-day national cleaning in flood-hit regions. All right. And government clears $700 million Eurobond debt, boosts investor confidence. And Gusitano and the weight of the NDC chairmanship. Has Gusitano indicated he wants to be chairman of the NDC? We will see. Finally, Railway Authority defense procurement of refurbished locomotives. Railway is always doing something, but we need our trains to be working so that we can travel quickly, faster, easier. Away from the Overseer newspaper. Daybreak. Mahama set 2 days for national general cleaning in flood-hit regions. NDC faces accountability test over Ejare audio on Koyo. Larry Dogbe appeals contempt jail, calls order void. An audit service board member grabs over 1.315 million Ghana cedi sole sourced contracts. Hey, is that so? All right. Daybreak newspaper is reporting these stories for us, and the Enquirer newspaper. Ghana Exim Bank joins UN Global Compact. NPA cautions fuel dealers. What are they cautioning them on? Let's read the Enquirer for more details. Mahama Cares, Tamale Teaching Hospital, Titan Partnership. Also on the Enquirer newspaper, Julius Debra celebrates Ohum Festival with chiefs of Achim Ebuakwa, a national prayer day not response to floods. Elvis Ifriye Ankra, the head of economical, the office at the presidency that takes care of our spirituality, says so. All right. BNFT Eurobond repayments hit $2.1 billion. Cocoa Board steps up farmer payments for cocoa recovery. Also on the BNFT Forum to examine marine cargo insurance reforms, market readiness. And Upper Menfi Community Bank doubles profits as deposits near 900 million Ghana cedis. Congratulations to you. Finally, OFI distributes 2.6 million trees to cocoa farmers across Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. And these are the stories on the front pages of the various newspapers. You should grab one and read some more into all of them. We'll take a break at this point. When we return, we'll begin having some conversations here on ABC in the morning. Do stay.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Some things never change. Trends come and go, but in your cooking, you still choose a tomato mix you trust. Because real quality never changes. Thick, red, rich. Chino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
The culture never chills, and neither do we. Viral moments, breaking stories, new drops, exclusive interviews, spotlight artists shaping the sound right now, and our African star of the week taking over timelines. Then it's straight to the top 10, the songs running the streets, owning your playlist and living rent-free in your head. No skips, just heats, pure vibes. This is the Rundown, your ultimate destination for everything entertainment.
Welcome back. You're still watching ABC in the morning. We'll begin our front story with Concerned Drivers Association. They have released a statement expressing concerns about the recent floods and how the flooding affected them. This is dated July 6, 2026. Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana commend government flood response and appeal for support for affected drivers. The leadership of Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana, CDAG, wishes to formally express our appreciation to His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama for his proactive stance in personally boarding a helicopter to conduct an aerial assessment of the recent flood-stricken areas. This gesture demonstrates a commendable commitment to understanding the gravity of the situation on the ground. While we applaud this swift leadership Our hearts remain heavy as we assess the devastating toll these floods have taken on our members. Many commercial drivers have not only lost their primary source of income, but also seen their vehicles, their only means of livelihood, submerged or completely destroyed by the deluge. In the Kwame Nkrumah circle only, close to 200 drivers have been affected. The figure for affected drivers in Greater Accra and other parts of the country, including those whose vehicles were at the workshop, is yet to be quantified. In light of this, we humbly appeal to the government to extend a lifeline to these affected transport operators. We urge the relevant ministries to consider a relief package or support mechanism to assist these drivers in recovering their vehicles and restoring their ability to support their families and contribute to the national economy. The transport sector remains a critical pillar of Ghana's economy. We are committed to working collaboratively with the government to ensure that our members are supported and that our operations return to normalcy as quickly as possible. Furthermore, we take this opportunity to call for national unity during this trying time. We urge the political opposition to prioritize welfare of the citizenry over partisan interests by offering reasonable, constructive criticism. At this juncture, the focus of all stakeholders must remain on collective problem solving and the swift rehabilitation of those impacted by this natural disaster. This is signed the President of the Concerned Drivers Association of the Greater Accra Region, or the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana, Ni Ashi, and the Central Regional Chairman, Kwesi Ahin, the PRO, David Adwado, and the Chairman of the Association in entirety, Pa Willie. These are the concerns of the Concerned Drivers Association. They commend government for government's measures so far, but they are calling for support from government, seeing as many of their members have been affected by the floods. Last Monday's floods were very devastating. Anything in the path of the flood, it moved away. Really, the flood showed us that water would always find its way. It's been a very trying time for those who were adversely affected. Many people have lost so much. They do not fathom how they will be able to recover from the kind of losses that they have been hit by. It is a very worrying situation, a very disappointing situation. Cars that have been submerged in water, some hopefully be able to repair, others it does not look like they can have them repaired. And so this is a huge issue, to see entire roads taken over by the water, taken over by the floods. Very, very worrying. That's why for a while now, when we've been having all of the weather forecasts that it may rain, a lot of people have been very worried. And so when the rains don't come, we seem to calm down a bit, because people are still counting their losses. People have not been able to recover just yet. This will take a long time for many to recover. For some drivers, the cars are theirs. For others, the cars are not. And so they are working with somebody's car on a work and pay basis. Look at the turmoil that they would have to go through, the stress they would have to go through, because you took somebody's car to work and you could not bring it back, or a car owner bought a car, and that is the end of it. We're looking forward to speaking with Ni Ashi, the Greater Accra Regional Chair, the Greater Accra Regional Chair of the Concerned Drivers Association, to speak with him on this matter. We want to speak with him on this matter. But let me show you some visuals of the devastation that occurred last weekend, how it affected some drivers.
Heavy rains that hit Accra, the capital of Ghana, late Sunday night, June 28th, continued into Monday morning, June 29th, causing widespread flooding throughout the city. Major roads became impassable, homes were submerged, residents were stranded, and daily life came to a near standstill. The National Disaster Management Agency declared a state of high alert, and rescue teams were dispatched to the affected areas. In the first hours of the flooding, the capital was submerged on all sides. Dozens of neighborhoods and major transportation corridors were paralyzed, while the Tete Kwashi intersection and the railway underpass on Spintex Road were completely submerged. On the Kasoa, SCC, and Malum Highway, floodwaters covered a large portion of the road, forcing drivers to abandon their vehicles.
So imagine, see, the wall has become like level.
The situation grew increasingly complicated for drivers seeking an escape route. While vehicles in low-lying areas moved slowly, some attempted to continue their journeys despite the rise.
Well, so you saw the devastation that rocked the nation last Monday when the floods came. A disaster of such magnitude, many people have lost their property. Some of them drivers. Let's speak with Niashi. He is the Greater Accra Regional Chair for the Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana. Good morning, Ni. Thank you for your time. Ni, we have seen your statement and the calls you have made to governments concerning your drivers. At this point, how many drivers have been affected by the floods?
I can tell you, across the country, it can be about 15,000 people across the country, because when it was raining, most of the time, the government can make sure those who are not going home, they convey them to home people. So at that time, they were in town. Some of them will tackle coalition, trying to make sure they send the passengers home. So most of those drivers were affected.
Okay. Well, and between then and now, what kind of support have these affected drivers received?
We have the president has authorized the finance minister to give some money for support. Yet, we have never heard of a driver package of help.
Hello, Niashi. Hello, Ni. We seem to have lost Niashi on the line. We will establish contact with him so that we can continue our conversation with him. Drivers have been affected. They have been affected by the floods. They are calling government. They're calling on government to support them. Hello, Ni. Are you still with me? Hello, Niashi. Hello, Ni. Okay, we'll do well to establish better contact with me so that we can have some conversation with him, finding out what they have done as an association or a group to also support each other whilst they wait for support from government. Government directed that some monies be made available to mitigate the situation. Whether or not the drivers are included in that, we would know. We do not know exactly who and what should be going to. But we also know some private persons have also been supporting those who are affected by the floods. Can drivers situate themselves within this conversation? We'll see. Hello, Niashi. Hello, Ni. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Ni, thank you so much for joining us once again. I was asking that as a group, the Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana, since last Monday, how have you been able to put yourself together to ensure that your drivers who have been affected have also been supported?
You see, that's why we are appealing to the government as he's trying to support other people. We think that we are also part of Ghanaians and we have sacrificed a lot for Ghanaians. So if there's something that is coming out, then there's a need for drivers to also get their fair share of it. If not that, then the government is not being fair to the drivers. Because most of the time, these vehicles, they close early. And we, the cultures and the tactics, we normally convey these people home. So we think that if there's any package for other people, then there's a need for us to also get our listening share. So that's why we are appealing to the government. Because as a institution, we don't have enough. Because there are many, there's a lot of people affected. So we can't get those monies to support them. So if the government will not come in for support, there's something that we can do.
You talk about the fact that the number of drivers that are affected are many. And so if government really wants to support, do you think that government can cover all of the drivers?
The government will channel those funds or like GPRTU and then concerned drivers and report are the chairman of those things across the region so that they can invest those money to the people, those who are affected. If not that, we can't personally give the money to somebody if we don't know that we was affected or not. So unless it channels through the chairman and then across the country so that they can disburse the money to the drivers. So we appeal to the government that most of the drivers, their engine is damaged. They can't repair it anymore. They need a new engine to fix in their car before they work. So we're just appealing to the government.
Aren't the cars covered by insurance?
Excuse me.
I'm asking if the cars are not covered by insurance.
Oh, this insurance is just a little money. They can't use the insurance to repair the damage of the cars because it's a third party, most of the car, and third party insurance is how much. And you see, normally the insurance that we normally do, it's like accident. If there's no accident, we can't go there for this blood insurance that we give you some money for you to buy a new engine. It can't be possible.
And so at this point, you say that if these monies come to the various groups like GPRT, Concerned Drivers Association, you'll be able to disburse the money to the various drivers to deal with the situation. But how much money is enough money to deal with the volume of cars that have been affected?
Well, already some of the cars are already in top and we can't get money to repair their cars. And this incident will have come to also add to what. So it will come to a time that passengers will come to town, or if they want to come, they will not get a car to come because of this is a problem. So that's why we are going to the government immediately to come out for this, because it has to sit down with the stakeholders to give them how much possible that it can use to help them. So I think we can't put any price that the government should give us 1 cedi or 2 cedis for them for us to use to repair our car. But if we do that, we can know exactly the amount that we need to repair those cars.
Government has disbursed 300 million Ghana cedis, and already government has determined how the 300 million Ghana cedis must be used. 150 million Ghana cedis out of the 300 million will be used to finance urgent relief efforts for flood-affected persons and communities. And then other 150 million Ghana cedis will be spent on flood mitigation measures aimed at reducing incidents of flooding. And so from the get-go, the monies have already been determined, or the use of the monies have been determined. Is it your plea or your request of government that government make another disbursement solely for drivers?
Yes, because as you mentioned, drivers are also Ghanaian, and these things affected all of us. And how can you give other people money and we that we are sacrificing for the nation, we are not giving any as anything? It's unfair. So the government should just we think about this particular issue and then know that we drivers over the years we have sacrificed a lot for Ghanaians.
Well, someone will say that when you use the word sacrifice, it would look like you are giving a free service to Ghanaians. Where you are private operators, you own your cars, you determine your fares, you collect your fares as you see fit. When passengers sit in your cars, they pay. You don't drive them for free. And so if something has happened, you should also be able to deal with it from your end and not expect that it's the same taxpayers' money that will solve your issue. Wouldn't you understand them from that point too?
when there was a petrol increment, government was pleading to us that we shouldn't increase first. That one part tells you that you are being sacrificed for Ghanaians. That's number one. Over this, I asked you earlier question that this flood that happened, did you see any government, like, I don't know, the new vehicles that they are coming being flooded? No. But you can see truck and the taxi, so many around, because they close early, and we are the last people that normally take these people home. So if I'm talking of we are being sacrificed for Ghanaians, then I'm right.
You are. Okay, Ni. And so at this point, if your concerns are not addressed adequately, what will be the step you take?
What my said, we always insist for your right. And in government, it's not try to buy with our grievances, then we are going to insist that you understand us. So we are not going to talk much because we are just appealing to him for the first time. So we didn't talk much. We are waiting for the outcome of it. And we'll see what we can.
Have you been in talks with the Ministry of Transport concerning this matter, seeing as you work hand in hand with them?
Normally, I don't want to say this on air, but it's very, very difficult at times when you want to recruit people. You go there, they say they have traveled to here, they have traveled to here. And it took so many weeks before we can able to meet them. That one too is a problem to us because they are not open up for us to always welcome us if we have any problem or whatever to then for us to have engagement with them. So that's one too is another problem.
Well, but if the ministry that you work directly with is not opening up to you, how do you expect your petition or your plea to reach the right quarters?
As we are talking in air, I think somebody to also listen. Maybe the president is also listening. Then he will hear he will hear us our demand that we are appealing to him that should help us. Maybe that one will help. But at times the ministry is a very difficult task that we can meet a minister when maybe there's a problem. You go there and they tell you that you have travel here, you have travel there, and you'll be going like 2 weeks time. You cannot able to meet them. So this time around, we are just telling them that because of us, that's why they are there. So if there's anything, we should make sure we sit down and automatically see to it that everything is in order.
But since the flood occurred, has the minister, the deputy, reached out to the various driver unions?
He has never visited any meeting to see that maybe how this disaster affected us. So we think that I think there are certain things where that are not be used, which it will create a problem, and then somebody might be somewhere to say that we are just saying something against the minister. So I'm begging, let us end here so that as time goes on, they can be able to talk much about it.
Oni, so your statement has been released. How long are you expecting to wait until you hear from government?
This one there, if the emergency report, we need 40 days for the government to respond to us.
Okay.
It's not that. I don't want to say something that maybe somebody sitting somewhere will be saying a different thing. But we think that as a good president, he will hear us, and anything that we are appealing to will be held to us.
I would expect that if you do not hear from government, we'll see you increase the cost of fares.
That one there, we need to see. We need to see.
All right, Ni. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you so much. God bless you.
You okay?
Yes.
Niashi is the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana. They are appealing to government for support following the floods that occurred on June 29, that Monday. Very devastating floods. They, as drivers, have also been affected by the floods. They say that the 300 million Ghana cedi disbursement government has made, government to ensure that drivers have a component in there. Many of them who have been affected have their engines busted, and so they need to buy new engines. They need different works done on their cars, and they cannot absorb the burden alone, seeing the work they do in the country, commuting or ferrying people from here and there. And so they would expect that government would also include them in any relief packages to ensure that they can also get back on their feet and make a living. Niashi, Greater Accra Regional Chair of Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana. We'll take a break. When we return, we have more conversations here on the show. Do stay.
Playing for your country, enye easy. Scoring, enye easy. Winning, enye easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Some things never change. Trends come and go, but in your cooking, you still choose the tomato mix you trust. Because real quality never changes. Thick, red, rich. Chino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
The culture never chills, and neither do we. Viral moments, breaking stories, new drops, exclusive interviews, spotlight artists shaping the sound right now, and our African star of the week taking over timelines. Then it's straight to the top 10, the songs running the streets, owning your playlist and living rent-free in your head. No skips, just hits, pure vibes. This is the Rundown, your ultimate destination for everything entertainment.
the fact that we have other two statements on a similar subject matter.
Mr. Speaker, just before we agree on the number, if the minister can give us a copy of the statement he just read. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, we had agreed that.
Honourable members, the background noise is too much.
We had agreed that we will take two statements on the same subject matter. One from the chairman of the Works and Housing Committee, and then one from, Sanitation, Water and Sanitation Committee, and then one from the former Minister for Works and Housing.
Yes.
Speaker, with respect, the minister came under Order 91 of the rules of this House. 93. Well, whichever rule you came under, the provisions are very clear. There must be prior approval from Speaker, which suggests that Speaker would have seen a copy of the statement and approve of state that it complies with. Don't worry, Mr. Speaker. I submit that there is no formal ministerial statement because, Mr. Speaker, we are here. The leaders, 5 year. At least members should have copies of this ministerial statement. Mr. Speaker, at a point, the minister delved into politics. He moved away from whatever formal statement and was now raising very controversial issues. So you should make available the copy of the statement which was approved by you. Let us have printed copies, or even soft copies should be put on the console, so that members who want to contribute will properly anchor their submissions. We don't want situations where you would come and say you didn't say this and somebody is misconstruing you. So make it available. Mr. Speaker, you have always been insisting on the rules. But if a cabinet minister decides to take the law into his own hands, Mr. Speaker, the entire House will be watching the pronouncement that will come out from the presiding officer. Thank you.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we can excuse the minority leader for all the things that he has said, because he was late. He came into this chamber after we had commenced proceedings, and he came much after we had sought your permission in the absence of a formal written statement, given the exigencies of the times, for the minister to make a statement to the House. A statement need not be written. A statement need not be written. But in any case, the Speaker dispensed with those requirements and granted the minister the permission. And I expressly stated when making the application to the minister that the statement was not ready. I made that statement, that it wasn't ready. But the matter is so urgent that he should grant leave for the minister to make the statement. And he did grant leave for the minister to make statements. And the statement has been very rich. A lot of facts, details, dates, incidents that have occurred, the locations where the incidents have occurred. And the moment when the statement is made, every member is supposed to, in silence, listen. And having listened, you are deemed to have received copies of the statement, because you have heard every single sentence. You have heard every single sentence. You have become aware. You have become aware of the facts Because the statement is about facts. And you have become aware of the facts. And so having become aware of the facts, if the speaker now gives us the opportunity to comment, you can comment on the basis of what you have heard. That is perfectly the practice in this house. So, Mr. Speaker, like I indicated, we had agreed that the two statements will be taken. The one by the chairman of Sanitation and Water, and then the former Minister for Works and Housing. So let's have those ones. After that, we can comment on the statements.
Honourable members, as a matter of fact, every parliament, leadership guides the person who is presiding, and issues are carried out by consensus. So when issues of this nature crop up and the leaders available reach some consensus based on which the act is taking place, I am personally worried to place on record that the whole world will be listening to the ruling that will come from Mr. Speaker. If the House has agreed to do an act, must I rule on that? So, Honorable Minority Leader, before you came, there was some consensus on both House. Honorable Anodonpre raised the issues that you have raised, but at the end of the day, there was an agreement that the minister be given the opportunity to make the statement, irrespective of the fact that the procedure has not been followed. He even indicated that as masters of our own rules, we could allow him to do so based on the exigency of the event. So this was what really happened. Yes?
With respect, I think my leader is on all fours right. The issue I raised are substantially different from what my leader is raising. I had raised issues on procedure, and Speaker, you had concluded that yes, we are masters of our own rules, and hence he could be allowed. My leader is raising a matter concerning where the leader has veered off, the minister has veered off into other matters, which will generate controversy and debate. So, Speaker, he is setting the stage, and we want fairness. So when we are contributing to the statement, and there are instances where we are referring to the instances he referred to, we should not be described as generating debate or controversies. That is the point, and that is the crux of the matter.
I have listened to the leader, and you've also listened to the leader. Leader is demanding a copy of the statement. Am I right or wrong?
We shouldn't, with respect to you, we shouldn't overly simplify the matter. It was not just a demand of a copy of the statement.
Yes, so...
He also raised a concern, Speaker, he also raised a concern that the honourable member, the minister, veered off and said other things. In fact, we took copious notes of what the things he said. So when we are making references and we are contributing and we make these references, yes, we hope that we will not be described as veering off and being offensive of the rules.
By our rules, where you feel the minister veered off, you can draw my attention. I will ask leader to withdraw or order that same be expunged from the record. And that should be the application made to me.
We'll proceed. We want to make progress. Our man is also ready.
No, but I want us to agree on these things. You can make an application to me that on ABCD, you feel the minister veered off. So you want the minister to withdraw. If he fails to withdraw and I feel that it's something that should not go into the record, I can direct that same be expunged from the record. But that was not the application before me. Yes.
Speaker, my issue was basically that the minister at the dispatch box submitted that upon receiving warning from Accra Metro that in June there will be torrential rainfall, certain actions were taken. Mr. Speaker, the minister did not spell out those specifics. It is the reason why I argued that he had veered off into the area of politics. And Mr. Speaker, this is a house of records. We are aware of a presidential committee headed by the Deputy Chief of Staff. They were asked to do a particular job regarding the flood. There is no report. So if the minister mounts the dispatch box and tells the nation that certain actions were taken, at the time he himself was telling the country that people should stay at home, their homes were already flooded. So which way were they supposed to stay? If you say you put in place certain measures, your duty is supposed to tell us what exactly you did. But you cannot make it a passing comment, then turn around to blame the citizenry by saying that people should take responsibility. Individuals were not responsible. That is why I want this to be out of the records, because, Mr. Speaker, it's a serious statement indicting people already suffering, who are going through crisis, who have lost their property, who have lost lives. Then all we hear from the minister is that people are not being responsible. Mr. Speaker, that is the point I want to make and want the clarity on. Is the reason why I said the minister should have come with a formal statement. Right, he's telling me that he has sent me a copy. Where you have sent it to my chief whip. But if you knew you had a formal statement, why didn't you wait to get the statement properly read? Now you're saying that your statement is ready. Yet you spoke extempore and raised certain issues, and I'm taking down note. That is why I want Mr. Speaker to take note. But Mr. Speaker, outside we have a formal statement. We sent it to you for approval, which has been approved. We will go strictly by that. But let the records reflect that the minister at the dispatch box is now doing blame game. He is also saying that the government took steps. Which steps we don't know? Which steps we don't know?
Yes, Minority Leader. With all this respect, let's get things right. If the minister says certain actions were taken, but he failed to mention those actions, which of the rules does that violate? For which reason I will ask the minister to withdraw.
Speaker, with respect, thank you very much for that important question. Mr. Speaker, this is a house of records. The old maxim, et nihilus, et nihilus. You can't place something on nothing. Mr. Speaker, the minister must anchor every submission before this house on facts. If you say you did something, you took a ministerial action, and that ministerial action, nobody knows about it, it becomes empty. It sits on stilts to make such submission, and that is the contention here. So, Mr. Speaker, we cannot allow a minister to make a statement whose statement is not supported by any fact. We don't know anything. Mr. Speaker, let us read the rules. 91(2), Mr. Speaker, a minister of state may make a statement of government policy, and the statement shall be limited to facts which are necessary to be made known to the House. Mr. Speaker, my argument, the prayer before you, is that the facts upon which he makes his submission are unknown. He didn't state those facts. If indeed the government are taking certain actions, what are those actions? Did you brief the House? Did you tell the public that there will be torrential rainfall in June? You've been warned by Accra Metro. Therefore, take the following steps. Did you do the dredging? What happened to the report of the Deputy Chief of Staff, who was put in charge of this? So you cannot just make a sweeping statement and expect that this house will be quiet. What were the facts upon which you mounted your the government policy on? If you say there was a policy, which policy you followed religiously? Why are we in crisis? And then now you are blaming the citizens who are suffering, the people who are crying, who are wailing. You are now here in parliament blaming them. What have they done? You have been given a state authority. You have the power of the state to enforce laws. You have the power of the state to enforce laws. Don't do in blame game. We don't want lamentations, Honorable Minister, with respect. We don't need lamentations. People are suffering. You were in opposition. You cried louder. You cried aloud. You wanted people to take action. Now it's your turn. Take action. Take action. No blame game, Minister. No blame game.
Minority Leader, I think you had your turn. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the Minority Leader is speaking as if he didn't leave office just about 15 months ago. And he's speaking as if 2 years ago there was no flooding in this country. As if 3 years ago there was no flooding in this country. As if 4 years ago there was no flooding in this country. I recall sitting on that side of the house, and every year we made statements on flooding in this country. So why are you behaving as if this is the first time that Accra is getting flooded? Why are you behaving that way? Please, stop the drama. The minister came under Order 93. Order 93. To make a statement on an urgent public matter. An urgent public matter. And he went straight to the facts. He indicated that the meteorological department had forecasted heavy downpour of rains, but they did not indicate the likely volume. And that when the rains did come, the volume was so much that even if we had done the best of preparations, we would still have been overwhelmed by the volume of the water. These are facts put forth by the minister. So these are facts. You can't say that the minister did not present any facts. And he then proceeded to indicate the extent of the destruction, mentioning specific communities, mentioning specific numbers, details, how many people died in which community, how many properties were lost, households, and then concluded by indicating that as a result of the emergency, he has appeared before the Finance Committee with the Finance Minister to seek financial approval from the contingency fund so that urgent steps can be taken to address the plight of those who have suffered as a result of this catastrophe. And indicated the amount, 350 million Ghana cedis, and said that 250 million Ghana cedis is going to be devoted to supporting those who have suffered, whilst the 100 million will be used to ameliorate the situation that has caused the flooding, which is desilting and other actions. 150 million. These are facts. And this committee met this morning, the Finance Committee met this morning, and I have a statement of the Finance Committee which they will be presenting to this House. These are facts. They occurred in this House. How can you say that the minister did not present any facts based on which he anchored his statement? In the concluding part, he an act of God. They come, the rains come. We can never predict the volume of the rains. We have been living in Accra, and for the first time, some of us saw it rain from morning till evening for about 2 days. So these are facts. Now it is for this House to debate, to comment on it, sympathize with the families, but you cannot try to create the impression that the minister, all he got up and said was he is blaming individuals. In this chamber, all of us have blamed individuals. In this chamber, all of us. We have blamed individuals who have built on the waterways. We have blamed individuals who have built on the waterways and blocked the waters. We have in this chamber, go and pick the Hansards, every single one of you here. We have on radio, go and listen to the radio stations. People are blaming those who have built on waterways, and they are asking government to pull down those properties. The owners of the property are also blaming government for coming to pull down their properties. So please.
Honorable Leader, conclude. In fact, at this point, the issue at stake is whether to take the statement jointly, then we open the floor for comment, or we comment on this statement and thereafter. So,
Speaker, we take them jointly, and then we agree on the number of contributors. Speaker, we'll do 5-5 plus leadership.
Very well. I will then give the floor to Honorable Asenso Boachi.
Just to let you know,
yes,
that the electronic copy of the statement made by the minister has been forwarded to clerk at table. I believe, yes. When I got up to ask for speaker's leave, I said there was a statement coming, but it wasn't ready yet. So he should allow the minister to make the statement because we had gotten to statement time.
Honourable members, once we cross that particular bridge, let us not visit it. I will then proceed to give the floor to Honorable Asenso Boachi. You have the floor to make your statement.
We haven't agreed on the number that will contribute.
Very well. They said 5-5 including leadership.
No,
we have a contrary number.
10-10. 5-5 is too small. 10-10. Let's do 10-10, not 5-5. Why? Not 5-5. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm grateful for the opportunity to make a statement on the devastating flooding that has once again affected our beautiful city of Accra and other parts of the country following the recent heavy rains. At the outset, I extend my deepest sympathies to all families who have lost loved ones and to everyone whose homes, businesses, and livelihoods have been affected. Mr. Speaker, yesterday was a heartbreaking moment for our nation. I was deeply shaken after watching disturbing videos circulating on social media of helpless citizens being swept away by floodwaters. Kiosks torn apart with people trapped inside, while onlookers stood powerless, unable to save lives right before their eyes. Those scenes were painful, Mr. Speaker, haunting, and a stark reminder of a crisis we can no longer normalize. Mr. Speaker, flooding has become one of Ghana's most persistent national challenges. It has confronted successive governments, continues to threaten lives, infrastructure, and economic activity. This is therefore not a time for political point scoring. Floodwaters do not discriminate. They affect all Ghanaians alike. We must therefore unite around practical and lasting solutions. Mr. Speaker, the causes of flooding are well known. Inadequate drainage infrastructure, weak enforcement of planning laws, and poor waste management.
You're welcome back from Parliament debate about the flooding situation. Again, we look forward to seeing very important proactive measures taken to ensure that this situation does not occur. We keep saying it. I know at this point it has become a cliche, but we'll keep saying it till it becomes better. And because the lives that were lost, one life, just too many. Property that have been destroyed, some families struggling to get back on their feet. We can't have these situations become the norm in our country. Regardless of how long it has persisted, we can't stop it at some point. Away from flooding, let's turn our attention to the Kantanka Empire. there's just been a lot of conversation concerning the Kantanka family following the death of its patriarch, Apostle Professor Emeritus Kwadwo Safo Kantanka. Yesterday, there was the reading of the Kantanka will. One of the persons who were present for the reading of the will, Seth Appiah, popularly known as Osibo the Zaraman, granted 2 interviews. There was a first interview where he said that Kwadwo Safo Jr., popularly known as Akofena, had been named the leader, or Kwadwo Safo Akofena had been named the successor of the late Professor Kwadwo Safo Kantanka. Let's watch that video. We'll come back.
And Papa say, only a sorry. And she said, Papa Canada, like I said, many yes, no, you know. Obedience means say madrine. And this Papa can if you know about, and I at the when you say, well, make I say, name penny Papa can. It's any other support you could do. Now, yeah, send the Cassia, yeah, now, sorry, agent. Yeah.
Na the Ecobayne say defendants no armor. And you know, you say another date. You be dates. Na ya sako 7 ni na Oma dia ene ye munye course no asem. But na die omu bie ni wa omu bae. Sane kusiye. Nti ye train for the data ebeba. Na
well, so following this interview by Osibo the Zaraman, there was just a lot of conversation out there that, so this was what was going to be contained, and the children of the late Kwadwo Safo Kantanka had been going at each other the way we had seen it. There was just a lot of conversation around it. Well, not too long after, same Osibo the Zaraman granted another interview seeking to clarify comments he had made in the first interview. Let's listen to that too.
And he trained for say this second interview na me no then for the baby matem the baby say me pray do but en happy the most important thing any no krena ebede di no eyampa I was misled and do better make asa no in the interview no say lawyer bi bi na machi ebo machi catch me say mama nkasa biom na there are more to that. Iye ene ye onabo Adwa Safo a lawyer a ye friend no Gary Nimako. Name in the paragraph 27 of the will. Actually say Papa mami ensa no nyina no emema mi ensa no Nana Akofena, Nana ya Abraham, ena Obed Kwadwo Safo. Omina obiya betimi a leader of the church. But I got it wrong. And a mammy can say a yakofuna. Now, Semeka semi mammy ada. Wabra wua. At the end of the day, you be expected to be sorry, amayashe. And they say maka by mistake. And a maka say akofuna any leader. Now, lawyer na draw my attention. Say it was not like that. Anytime you can say lawyer na bobo mechi. Emma draw my attention, but then na video no ekodada. I'm not ashamed say me ba be correct me ho. Em found nothing we are gonna for be me kuta thick skin. Upa di matem say the enhame. Oni pa bia timi ye mfonso ewo na bra ba owumi. And say me mfonso amaye. And say bia I was misled and mama wrong information. Na me ba out e be correction that I don't see anything wrong with that. If we say Bible say okwasia say the enu hu obi a oya homaso na dwemu say that no bibli ena so okasa na mfomso ba ho a ontimi enye correction about the mfomso na oyeye no oyeye ba menam yes sa interview no anopa yi e wo courts after reading the will of Kantanka and a lawyer I draw my attention to the paragraph 27 and no and a makan and to be a moti ye a ye say Nana Akofena nyame mu mosem na me kan ye say medical grant interview bi say you read papa will wie na ye ono Akofena and a leader, you know, I support no. And I just said it, and a baby must say, sa and it's here, and a yina, a best support no. Na ya kosom senia a will no SCN until say you draw my attention to the paragraph 27 no Emma who say no only leader of the church which already know the kind of their court and to say Ghana for meaning say bibi enemy nya adwene bibi ebidi matem but en hame atem gidi na bibi dim en hame say no kre no ebeda di ana say meji me mfum so atum ewo kasa bi a mekan ya na eni kwan say eba ne saa na me magana fo nyina ate ase biom say like I said according to the paragraph 27 of the will na ye read ye no doesn't permit Akofran to become a leader memum osteti say ne mama me ensanu mu bi bia ebetini a leader based on the amendment of the constitution na ye ya e ma ye no bi e de call court no mu say my yesa video ya enyansafo beti ase bebre nsu bedi matem en hame ne hiamia ne say ne yi atu yi efise mpenfo say ba bi eda no wan fa nto a efito enunti ena obusa me sa asem na me sa adane ma no akase ne me kan ye no I was misled ena menya adanse the paragraph 27 of the will. Any lawyer now will be tapu machino. And my attention was drawn by lawyer Gary Nimako. And he said,
also, that is Seth Appiah, popularly known as Osebo the Zara man, recanting the statement he made earlier at the High Court after the reading of the will. Well, there's a statement by the Christo Asafo Mission of Ghana. Let me read the statement for your attention. It's dated 6th July 2026. The last will and testament of the late Apostle Professor Emeritus Kwadwo Safo Kantanka have been read. On this day, the 6th of July 2026, the High Court Registrar, Probate and Administration Division openly read the last will and testament of the founder and leader of the Christo Asafo Mission of Ghana. This reading was based on a formal application by the children of the late founder through their lawyers, Gary Mafo Esquire of Mafo and Associates, dated 29th June 2026. The Deputy Registrar, Probate and Administration Division then wrote and invited all the family members, together with other interested parties, to attend the scheduled reading of the last will and testament of our dear founder and leader, dated 30th June 2026. Consequently, the will and the last testament was read today, 6th July 2026, at the will reading room of the High Court Complex, Accra, at 11:50 a.m. The children of the late founder were present and or represented. Other interested parties included the General Secretary, Dr. Kwadwo Odro Ado, the Deputy General Secretary Administration, Lawyer Nanas Kofi Safo Kantanka, Mr. Seth Appiah, aka Osebo the Zara man, Mr. Opon Safo, etc., and other law interns. The details of the last will and testament of our most revered late founder and leader will be made known to all members at the appropriate time. May the peace of our Lord be with you all as we take the next steps in fulfilling the solemn and last wishes of our dear and most revered founder and leader. For any clarification, you may contact the legal counsel of the church, and it gives the number, and it is signed Nana Kofi Safo Kantanka Esquire, Deputy General Secretary and Admin and Legal Advisor of the Christo Asafo Mission of Ghana. And so as it stands, the church says that the will, the last will and testament of the late Apostle Professor Emeritus Kwadwo Safo Kantanka has been read. Details of the will have not been made public at this point. It will be communicated in subsequent days. But following that first interview that Osebo the Zara man granted, a lot of people have flown with that story that Israel Kwadwo Safo has been named of Apostle Professor Emeritus Kwadwo Safo Kantanka. Could it be that that is indeed what it is? Or with Osebo the Zara man's next interview saying that it was rather stated that any of the 3 sons of the late minister could inherit him. Is this what it is going to be? Well, we wait to see. We had hoped to speak with the family representative of the Safo-Kantanka family, but at this point, they decline any form of media interview. They say that at the right time, they will speak with the media and share whatever relevant information there is to share with the public. We also understand that former MP for Dom Kwabenya, Sarah Adwoa-Safo, is out of the country at this point, and we should expect to hear from her soon concerning the updates on the situations occurring. But you'd recall that sometime last year, the founder of the Peace to Asafo Mission of Ghana, Apostle Professor Emeritus Safo-Kantanka, died. Following his death, a lot has come up. This day for funeral, the day changed. This part of the family say we do not agree. This other section of the family say that this is the date we want and all. But the latest that has sparked a lot of interest into the family has been inheritance. Who inherits the past leader or the former leader, the late leader, as the head of the church? We understand that there was a certain installment or installation happening a few weeks ago where former MP Adwoa-Safo went there because it was her brother who was being installed. She sought to stop the process, and her arrival at the premises or venue caused private security to open fire on her, causing her to rush to the hospital to receive medical attention. Subsequently, members of the private security were arrested. Her brother, Israel Safo Akofina, was also arrested, and some 2 other persons were also arrested in connection with the matter. We understand that Adwoa-Safo herself has called that the matter, the case that is in court at this point, be escalated to the High Court. And so this is where the matter has gotten to, sparked a lot of public interest into this matter. We'll be also following keenly to bring you some more details on this matter. On the matter of guns opening fire, we'll be taking a break. When we return, CSOs say that the Interior Ministry's revocation of all licenses for gun holders is the step in the wrong direction. Why do they say so? We will speak with them, and then we would also be speaking with the Small Arms Commission on the use of guns, licensing, and the way forward. After the break, stay with us.
Playing for your country, enye easy. Scoring, enye easy. Winning, enye easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Some things never change. Trends come and go, but in your cooking, you still choose the tomato mix you trust. Because real quality never changes. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
The culture never chills, and neither do we. Viral moments, breaking stories, new drops, exclusive interviews, spotlight artists shaping the sound right now, and our African star of the week taking over timelines. Then it's straight to the top 10, the songs running the streets, owning your playlist and living rent free in your head. No skips, just heats, pure vibes. This is the Rundown, your ultimate destination for everything entertainment.
Welcome back. You're still watching ABC in the morning. Let's turn our attention to issues concerning gun handling, gun licenses in the country. Security experts, some CEOs have raised concerns about the Ministry of the Interior's decision to revoke all licenses for gun holders. They say that the decision, the revocation, was a rushed one. Adib Sani is a security expert. Let's listen to him speak on the matter. We'll come back and have some conversation.
We are not against responsible gun control. We are not against mental health, firearms training, background checks, or stronger state oversight of weapons in civilian hands. In fact, we unequivocally support firmly the move by the Interior Minister to address the issues of firearms in the country. We also support firm, modern, transparent and accountable firearms regulation. However, what concerns us deeply is the manner in which this decision has been announced and implemented. A matter of this magnitude, affecting thousands of lawful firearm holders, public safety, policing, private security, farming communities, and national confidence in state institutions must not be handled in a rushed, unclear, and administratively unprepared manner. Following the announcement, we have engaged major stakeholders, including security experts, other civil society organizations working on small arms control, legal practitioners, licensed firearms holders, private security operators, community leaders, and persons with experience in firearms policy and regulation. From these engagements, we wish to state the following. First, we acknowledge the legitimate concern of the Minister of Interior, Honorable Muntaka Mubarak. Ghana's firearms licenses regime has serious weaknesses. It is worrying if people can licenses without proper mental health assessment, drug testing, practical handling, and periodic competence checks. No responsible society should allow firearm owners to be reduced to pay alone. We congratulate the Minister for demonstrating such keen interest to this matter. A person who owns firearms must know how to use it safely. He must understand when he can also use it, when he cannot, how to store it, how to transport it, how to renew his license, and the criminal consequences of misuse. Firearm ownership is neither a fashion statement nor a status symbol. It is a serious public safety responsibility. But good policy must be implemented properly. Ladies and gentlemen, our major concern is that the institutions expected to implement this directive do not.
Also, that's Adib Sani, security expert, speaking on the decision of the Minister of the Interior to revoke all firearm licenses for civilians. He raises concerns about them. We look forward to speaking to Adib Sani on this matter to better appreciate where these CSO stand on this matter. But the minister had already given reasons for which the revocation was done. He said that there needs to be some more scrutiny ahead of giving licenses for people to carry firearms in the country. You recall that there was an amnesty period given for those who had unregistered firearms to submit those firearms, no questions asked, no repercussions, just submit them. That amnesty period was extended and has subsequently ended. Now the revocation has occurred. When CSO say that it was rushed, what more do they want from the ministry? What do they expect the ministry to do to ensure that it is a process that has exhausted all options available to them? We'll also speak with Carl Ni Anyetesua, acting head of public relations for the Small Arms and Light Weapons Commission on this matter. is it indeed a rushed one? Because Adib Sani says that CSOs has had interactions with other stakeholders, various stakeholders on the matter who agree with them. And so then, where did the Ministry of the Interior stand when they took such a decision that should curb the incessant use of firearms in our country, also the proliferation of these firearms? These are concerns. You know that in areas that are going through some conflicts, firearms have found their way there. But who took the firearms there? So many times at our various ports, firearms have been seized. Why are we seeing these huge number of firearms getting into the country? Why are we seeing all of that? And if the ministry has taken this decision, to what end? What is the end goal for this, or the end game for this issue? How do we deal with it and deal with it well to ensure that it does not become an albatross on our neck, the incessant use of firearms? The other time, somebody died. A traditional leader died because he was playing with a firearm at a funeral, and that was the end of it. Well, let's have a conversation with Carl Nianyete, Public Relations for the Small Arms and Light Weapons Commission. Carl, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Yeah, thank you.
Carl, some CSOs are saying that the revocation of licenses for civilian use of firearms was rushed.
I'm struggling with the line.
Is it better? Can you hear me, Carl?
Yeah, I'm struggling, but I'm managing.
Okay. Is this better? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. There are some CSOs who say that the decision taken by the Ministry of the Interior to revoke licenses for firearm use was a rushed decision. And they point to the fact that after some consultation with stakeholders, the decision should have not been taken in such a rushed manner. Have you heard about this, Carl?
Well, the CSOs, some CSOs had some pressure yesterday. Yes.
Yes, Carl.
Okay, so like I said earlier in my previous interviews, the Honorable Minister indicated the reason for taking such a decision, and it is in the best interest of providing public safety and ensuring that the Ghanaian who owns a firearm is a responsible gun owner, and that whoever is wielding a firearm must first keep himself safe, his loved ones and his neighbors safe. And so that was the intent that led to the revocation of the licenses. And as I always say, we'll just exercise calm. We should look at the merits. The merits far outweighs the demerits. So if you are looking at any project or any policy, if the merits, there will be inconveniences, but if the merits far outweighs the demerits, then it is a good call. What I would urge is calm, and then we go through the processes and then ensure that we have a peaceful, gun violence-free Ghana. At least it is not as though the revocation is in perpetuity, but in that a window has been given for those who have not renewed their licenses. Immediately, they should take advantage to ensure that they renew their license. You know, the licenses expire by the 31st of January, 31st of December every year. So those who have not renewed their licenses, they should know that the license, the firearm that they have is illicit. Because once the license has expired and you've not renewed it, it is illicit. So they should take advantage and just renew. So it's an opportunity for people to renew their licenses. Yes.
This revocation was announced. What kind of feedback have you received at your outfit concerning the decision taking?
Well, you know, when there's a new change and a new directive, people will be having mixed feelings about it. So, like I keep saying, let us just exercise calm and then just listen to the directives that are going to be put forward in how the processes will be done. And then we just follow to ensure. We should look at the picture goal, ensuring a peaceful gun violence-free Ghana, ensuring responsible gun ownership. We should look at the big picture. So yes, there's been mixed feelings, people looking at the inconvenience and all that. But like I said, let's look at the merits. Let's weigh the merits against the demerits. If the merits far outweighs the demerits, then yes, it may be inconveniencing, but we should take advantage. Like I said earlier, it is not in perpetuity. There's a window for people to take advantage and license, or let me say, renew their licenses. So yes, go through the process and renew your licenses. So we should look at the merits in terms of public safety, in terms of the individuals holding these firearms being responsible gun owners. So let's look at let's look at it from that angle.
Well, there is concern about the operational framework concerning the decision that you have taken. They categorically say that this decision taken by the minister lacks a clear operational framework. The minister talks about...
Sorry, it lacks...
It lacks a clear operational framework.
Please go ahead.
Well, they say that the decision taken by the minister lacks a clear operational framework. Hello, Nee.
Please go ahead.
Well, and they talk about the fact that the minister says that we should have shooting ranges where people can go and learn how to shoot, because it's not enough to register a firearm and carry it when you don't know how to use it, and then end up hurting yourself or somebody in your line of shooting. And so the few facilities we have will be found. And so this decision should have taken time to be executed. Isn't there merit in this saying?
Wow, I'm struggling to really hear.
Nee, we'll do well to establish contact with you so you can hear us better.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Well, so we will call you back again, and then hopefully we can have a clearer conversation with you. Kaunia Nyataisowa is the acting head of public relations for the Small Arms and Light Weapons Commission. CSOs have raised concerns about the decision taken by the Minister for the Interior when he said that no more will people have the license to carry firearms. Whatever licenses were given at the beginning of the year have been revoked, and so everybody has to apply for a license. He said there has to be some mental health checks done. You have to learn how to use the gun by going to learn at a shooting range. Or so many concerns that were raised. CSOs have also raised concerns that the decision taken, it is well intentioned, the decision to take, however, it lacks an operational framework. It lacks, there are too many bottlenecks that could impede the successful implementation of the decision taken by the Minister for the Interior. Kaunia Nyetesowa joins us back. Hello, Nee.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, I was saying that the CSO say the decision taken by the minister lacks a clear operational framework. Case in point, the shooting ranges that the minister says people who would want to own firearms would have to go to learn how to shoot. How many of them do we have in the country for which we've taken such a swift decision?
All right, so thank you very much. So prior to this conversation, I can tell you that the police, through the FPU, have been giving some form of training to people who want to register their firearms. So it is something that is being done currently, but just that now it's going to be, should I say, strengthened and widened. So that is something that I know is being taken care of and is being handled. So we should just exercise calm. Like I said, there will be communications going forward on the directive, because the minister said during the presser that is in talks with the Ministry of Health, the Narcotics Commission, and the rest, so that they will come out with the fees for all those different activities under the new registration regime that is bringing up. So we should just exercise calm and then just see in the coming days. He gave a 3-month window. So let's see in the coming days what comes up. But then, you see, there is an arms distraction exercise, a national arms distraction exercise, which is coming off on the 9th of July, Thursday, this Thursday. And the main aim of this arms distraction exercise is to ensure a peaceful Ghana a gun violence-free Ghana, because obsolete, seized, confiscated, surrounded firearms are going to be destroyed. Over 2,000 of these firearms are going to be destroyed. And if they are destroyed, it gives a guarantee that they will not find their way back into the system, into criminal hands and all that. So I think that that should be the focus now, because it is a big win for Ghana. Yes, so that should be the focus now on the National Arms Distraction ceremony coming off on Thursday.
One concern that the CSOs raise is about communication, getting the information to sync to everybody who needs the information, everybody who is interested in it, and I mean by extension all of us as a people. And so since this decision was taken by the ministry, how are you, the Small Arms Commission, since this lies directly with you and the ministry, working hand in hand to ensure that nobody is left behind with regard to knowing what to do, where to do, and how to do?
Okay, so thank you. I indicated earlier that there will be communication, because the Honourable Minister said he was in talks with the Ministry of Health and the Narcotics Commission concerning the fee for those tests. So there's going to be, it's given a 3-month window. So there's going to be communication. Ghanaians should rest assured that there's going to be that communication, because yes, we need to carry the people along. This thing is actually about the people and for the people. So there will definitely be communication in due time. They should just exercise restraint and exercise patience. There will be communication soon.
Don't you think that this decision taken by the minister undermines public trust in the ministry and in the Small Arms Commission, seen as you requested, you called on the entire populace to surrender guns that they owned that had not been licensed? People came, they surrendered the guns to you, and shortly after, now you've taken such a decision. Next time, if you make such calls, next time if you want to carry the people along with decisions you're taking with regards to their safety, do you think they will follow you?
All right, so thank you very much. I think that any well-meaning Ghanaian, devoid of the sentiments from the inconveniences this directive may give, will understand that or agree that this is one of the ways that we want to deepen the gains made from the amnesty. Now, to expound on the amnesty was to give well-meaning Ghanaians the opportunity to either surrender their firearms or declare their intentions to register the firearm. And that is being done. Anyone who goes through, so you see that during the presser, the Honourable Minister for the Interior indicated that anyone who has gone through, anyone who has declared his intention to have his firearm registered will be taken through the process. And once the person qualifies, the firearm will be registered to the person. So that will be done. It's just that the layer of assessment that qualifies, or the criteria that qualifies you to get that firearm, is now going to be strengthened to ensure that whoever is given that firearm becomes a responsible gun owner. So this is not to say that the firearm will not be registered to you anymore, or that right, that privilege is being taken from you. It will still be done, but you will have to go through the process, and it just enumerated new processes. So yes, we shouldn't confuse the two things. Yes.
All right, Nee.
The registration will be done. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
All right. Thank you too for the opportunity.
Kaoni Anyeteso is the acting head of public relations for the Small Arms and Light Weapons Commission. He says the decision taken by the Interior Ministry is a decision in the right direction, and so all of us should throw our weights behind them and ensure that we sanitize our space when it comes to the use of firearms. Well, we have been looking forward to speaking with Adib Sani, who's a security expert and a member of one of the CSOs who spoke concerning this matter about the decision taking on the use of firearms, the revocation of all licenses. We've been unable to establish contact with Adib Sani at this point. When we do, we'll bring you a conversation with him. But we'll be bringing you a conversation, or I'll read a statement for you concerning cybercrime after this break. So please Stay with me here. This is still ABC in the morning.
Playing for your country, enye easy. Scoring, enye easy. Winning, enye easy. You know what be easy now? Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available.
Some things never change. Trends come and go, but in your cooking, you still choose the tomato mix you trust. Because real quality never changes. Thick, red, rich. Gino truly cares. This advert is FDA approved.
The culture never chills, and neither do we. Viral moments, breaking stories, new drops, exclusive interviews, spotlight artists shaping the sound right now, and our African star of the week taking over timelines. Then it's straight to the top 10, the songs running the streets, owning your playlist and living rent-free in your head. No skips, just heat, pure vibes. This is the Rundown, your ultimate destination for everything entertainment.
Welcome back. You're still watching ABC in the morning live here on ABC News GH. The Cybersecurity Authority has sounded an alarm on some fraudulent schemes that are ongoing. They have released a statement. I will read it for your attention, and so that we can be vigilant when it comes to fraudulent schemes as schemes. This is a public alert: fraudulent online investment scheme. The Cybersecurity Authority has noted a surge in fraudulent online investment schemes operating under various aliases or pseudonyms. These scammers lure victims with promises of high returns on investments and primarily use social media for advertisement and mobile money for transactions. In the first 6 months of 2026, the CSA recorded 332 of such cases, amounting to a total financial loss of 3,429,447 Ghana cedis. This is the modus operandi. In their bid to appear credible, threat actors falsely present their schemes as subsidiaries of established foreign companies. Example, Daraz, a legitimate e-commerce company headquartered in Pakistan. The scammers run targeted advertisements on social media platforms where eventual victims are encouraged to invest money. In some cases, victims are told their investment will fund crypto mining equipment leases or online business tasks. Victims are promised substantial returns, but once funds are transferred, they neither receive any returns nor recover their initial investment. The threat actors frequently rebrand themselves to evade detection by law enforcement agencies, local regulators, and users. The latest names being employed include Daraz, Daily Trade, GH Store, Kuka, and Idola. Recommendations: be cautious of online platforms promising unusually high returns on investments. Refrain from joining WhatsApp groups or responding to unsolicited messages claiming affiliation with reputable organizations. Always verify the legitimacy and credibility of investment opportunities by consulting official channels or recognized regulatory bodies. Report any suspicious contacts or fraudulent schemes to the CSA for further investigations. The CSA has a 24-hour cybercrime incident reporting point of contact for reporting cybercrimes and receiving guidance and clarification on suspected scams. Contact us via call or text on 292 or WhatsApp on 050-160-3111 or email report@csa.gov.gh. And this is issued by the Cybersecurity Authority. So please, this is for your attention. The Cybersecurity Authority says we should be aware of fraudulent investment schemes that are masquerading or parading themselves as legitimate schemes online. I know that, we all need money. Money is good, isn't it? It is a very good thing. We all want money to fund our lifestyles, to go to school, to set up a business, to take care of ourselves, take care of our medical needs. Everything we need money. You cannot do anything without money. And so we are very quick to invest our monies in things that give us an impression of a get-rich-quick scheme. But most of these schemes are fraudulent. And so please be guided. Be very much guided. CSA tells us that some of the very popular ones at this point are called Dara's Daily Trade, GH Store, Kuka, and eDollar. And so please, pay attention to these. Be very mindful of the kind of groups you are joining, whom you're giving your money to. If you want to invest, walk to a very reputable bank, a very reputable financial institution in the Ghana, one that has been given a stamp or approval by the Bank of Ghana, and then invest your monies there. Let's be very, very careful on this matter. If you have any concerns, like the cybersecurity has given us their numbers, please call them, send them a mail, and they will promptly respond to you. They're on social media. I see them a lot on X, updating us on some of the threats to our financial security. And so please do well to get in touch with them, and if you are not certain about something, so that you do not find yourself wanting in such a situation. And so this is from the Cybersecurity Authority, the CSA, on this matter. At this point, I'll open the phone lines. I would love so much to hear from you on the conversations we've been having. Concerned Drivers Association say that government should help them. Government should step in and help them because they have been adversely affected by the flood situation. Is government able to help them? Well, we'll know. You call us and share your thoughts with us on that, on this matter. CSO saying that government's decision to revoke the use of or the licenses for firearms is a decision that was rushed. There was a decision taken in haste. What do you make of it? Cybersecurity Authority also tells us that we should be careful of the kind of investment schemes we invest our monies in, especially these online investment schemes. Call me and share your thoughts with me and all the conversations we have been having. I'd love so much to hear from you. But it's time for Ghana Speaks. Masawood Kumasa Bantama says the NDC strategy is to pretend Ghana started in 2016. Their response to every situation is, you couldn't do it in 8 years. I challenge the ruling government to mention one single job this government has created since they came into office. When they were in opposition, it seems they had the magic to transform Ghana. Now it's clear that they have nothing good to offer. Hashtag still Baumia Beba 2028, and he sends regards to Honorable Sampine, National Vice Chairman, hopeful of the NPP. You let me hear your voice. I would love to hear so much for you here on Ghana Speaks. It's your voice that matters, and your voice alone that I would love to hear. You can call me on 024-725-7224, 024-725-7224. Call and share your thoughts with me on all the conversations we've been having here on ABC in the morning. Let's hear you here on ABC in the morning. It's time for Ghana Speaks. I'd love so much to hear from you, what you make on all the conversations we've been having. If I'm taking nothing away from today's conversation, I'm taking the Cybersecurity Authority's alert on fraudulent investment scheme honestly, we need to be very, very careful about where we put our money. We really need to be very careful where we put our money. You know, somebody steals your money or takes your money away, and it could break you so much. Well, Ebenezer from Tema is on the line. Hello, Ebenezer. Good morning.
Hello.
And thank you for joining.
Good morning. My sister, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I hope you're also doing well.
I'm also doing fine.
Wonderful. Ebenezer, let's hear you.
Yeah, on the CSOs.
All right.
I'm surprised this government won power. This is the first time I'm hearing this CSOs.
Is that so?
Yeah, I thought we don't have, we no more have CSOs in this country. Because they are all quiet. They have found themselves on the government WhatsApp platform. So we don't hear from them. Their only interest is attack the opposition when the opposition is trying to point out the wrongs of this government. And that is what they are doing. On the social media, everywhere, they are attacking the opposition for pointing out the wrongs of this government. So I'm surprised to see that. And what they are doing with this press conference is unnecessary. It's not needed. The flood, a lot of people we are talking about it, and you are here trying to divert attention with this unnecessary news. It's unnecessary. It's a serious disaster. I was expecting this government to declare state of emergency or 2 days mourning for the country. We have not heard anything. And you are here talking about what? This country the way things are going is so bad. It's very, very bad. Can we continue like this, madam? It's very bad. Oh. Social media, they are attacking the opposition for pointing out the wrongs of this government. What is going on? What is going on? It is a shame. Madam, thank you very much.
All right, Ebenezer, thank you, and I wish you the best of the day.
Okay.
That's Ebenezer from Tema sharing his thoughts on the conversation. Let's hear from you too. 024-725-7224. 024-725-7224. I'd love so much to hear from you. Call and share your thoughts with me. I have a few more minutes and then we'll be wrapping up the show this morning on ABC in the morning. But I cannot wrap up without hearing from you. And so call and let's hear you. Let's have some conversation on all of the matters. Ilyasu. Hello, Ilyasu. Hello, Ilyasu. I seem to have lost Ilyasu on the line. Well, Ilyasu, let me hear from you. You too, let me hear from you. It's your voice that matters and your voice alone. I'd love to hear. 024-725-7224. Hello, Ilyasu. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning, Miss ABENA.
Good morning, Ilyasu.
I'm Pacho. I'm going to say.
Yami Adom, Yahweh Pa.
Me Pacho.
Ilyasu, driver for sense you ne toy no omo ho akanti government emeso omo asen na omo ntumi ngina omo na asubiem CSO so say government and interior ministry decision na wa take say wa ukura gun bia ye beje license just a wo sign so be renew biomo no government anto ne bokra na cyber security so say amanfo kwan enye kwan hodo so jeje amanfo sika wo internet ne so ntino ye careful baby a we di sika ebefa.
Okay. Oh, okay. Your friend say driver for through I was abanso massive that you need to be and say Omana Israel be there, Obia Kuti, and said the kitchen only take here and say no swear, but I buy me own to Sudan and because 2024, as some kind, I know she. So, people say, we are seeing who say, I dear with me young banker, and I always use bonnet at the vegetarian, and I will bye bye.
Well, Elias here, so thank you for calling and sharing your thought with us. Let's hear from you too. 024-725-7224. 024-725-7224. I'd love so much to hear from you before we wrap up the show this morning on ABC in the morning. Share your thoughts with me. drivers say that government should help them. They say unfortunately they reach out to the Ministry of Transport and nobody seems to open the doors for them. And so at this point they can only use the media, go through the media to reach government, but they need support from government. They're unable to get back on their feet on their own. And so government would have to support them to be able to do the work that they do in transporting and commuting all of us from one point to another point. So these are the situations that we are faced with. And so you can call us really. Are the drivers justified in the calls they are making? You let us know. CSO say that government rushed in their decision to revoke the licenses of gun holders. They should have taken their time. They risk creating bottlenecks. They risk creating a lot of impediments that would allow people to fully go through the process. You can call and share your thoughts with me, 0247257224. Well, whilst I wait for you, let me move away and go back to our earlier conversation about CSOs and the Ministry of the Interior. Adib Sani is a security expert. He's one of the CSOs, or a part of one of the CSOs that have raised concerns about the decision to revoke licenses. Good morning, Adib. Thank you for your time.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Adib, you raised concerns about the time frame the Ministry of the Interior took the decision. You say it is rushed. They also say that it is a necessary decision to take at this point. Where do we find Marian?
Well, thank you so much. We have made our stance very clear.
Okay.
We are not opposed to responsible gun regime in the country. We are not opposed to the issues he highlighted, because there are issues that we have spoken about for some time now. One, there's the need for competence tests, because if you own a gun, you should know the laws, the rules governing gun ownership. Secondly, a lot of people have mental health issues. Mental health is not all about those in the streets. A lot of people, responsible people, bankers, civil servants, all have mental health issues. So there's a need for some level of assessment. Then another is the drug test, to be sure, before you are granted licenses. They are all good calls, but we are saying that it has to be done well, because you don't enforce before you announce. There's a need for announcement, there's a need for public education, and there's a need for it to be embedded or to be based on a law. Because under the legal regime, which is the 1972 Arms and Ammunition Act, NRCV 9, there's nowhere in the law that requires people to know how to shoot before they own guns. That is why we are saying there's a new bill, which as CSOs we helped to develop, that handles all of these issues. Why don't you pass that into law? Why don't you do it in a phase, region by region, meticulous manner? So people who own guns in Tavribu, in Kumbungu, in Sola wouldn't have to come to Accra Tesano Police Shooting Range to be able to go through the competence test. Why don't we have public-private partnership to set up shooting ranges across the country? So we think that the minister's position was based on emotions rather than practicability. And that has to stop, and we need to engage and come out with a plan.
So you would expect that the minister rescind his decision at this point?
Absolutely. That is what we are calling on the minister to do, because recently there was a gun amnesty. Okay?
Right.
We were like, bring your guns, let us not prosecute, will not arrest. 4,000 people brought their guns, over 4,000. Now, within a week or two, we are saying, okay, it's revoked. Next time, if there's a gun amnesty, do you think people would bring their guns, or would you think people would surrender it? Of course not.
But next time,
not.
Do you think...
I'm sorry to excuse me, sorry. The problem in Ghana is the illegal guns. They are our biggest head. Okay, I'm not in any way opining that legal, license holders don't sometimes perpetrate crime, but 90% guns retrieved at crime scenes. Over 90% are illegal guns. If I have a gun and I'm going to use it for criminal activities such as robberies, do you think I would register it? So why are you targeting legal firearms holders? So it's more like if a tipper truck driver causes an accident, then you come out and revoke the licenses of all tipper truck drivers or all license holders in Ghana. That is not how things are done. That it has ramifications for the security of the state. It is tantamount to disarming people. Okay. For example, you see the mobile vendor who killed the armed robber. He can go to jail because the gun he used is illegal, because he's not a member of any security agency. That is the problem. That is the problem. So what it means is, if I'm attacked, I'll think twice about defending myself. So we think that the minister should come again.
Well, beg your pardon, Adi. We find ourselves in quite a dicey situation already, and we've had conversation about these with you in the past. The proliferation of guns in the system, and indeed you say that at crime scenes, most of the guns that have been retrieved are illegal guns. At this point, isn't this a stopgap measure that the minister had to take, looking at the times we found ourselves in? Indeed, just a few days before the minister's announcement, we had seen that a former member of parliament had been shot at. Some persons had opened fire on her because of a squabble that ensued. And so with the climate that we find ourselves in, wouldn't you expect that the minister would take such a measure at this point, and then as we go on, revise the measures?
Well, I mean, I do understand the minister. I do understand his frustration, because the issue of gun violence affects everybody. Okay. However, targeting licensed firearms holders alone would not solve the problem. Look, there are currently over 350 unresolved chieftaincy and land disputes all across the country. And a major tool for the perpetuation of perpetuation also of the violence is firearms. Okay, the AK-47s, G3 rifles, AR-15, etc. And so I think that our focus should be targeting these illegal firearm holders, whilst putting in place strategies to be able to deal with the legal ones also, because every license expires on the 31st of December every year at 11:59 p.m. So from 1st January, you are supposed to renew your license. Why don't we take advantage of that window and introduce these measures? But before that, we have to engage more, and we have to also look at the law. The law would help. I just don't understand why it is not passed. But if it is passed, it will help us, deal with this whole situation once and for all.
Well, as it stands, we've not heard from the minister if he will be rescinding the decision, and so the decision is still in full force. If indeed it continues like this, as a security expert, how do you expect that they continue to adjust the situation to be able to capture everybody and get the message to sink deeper into the minds of everyone? The minister says we need mental health evaluation, we need to learn how to shoot at ranges, and many other factors that he mentions. And so if it continues like this, how do you expect the Ministry of Interior, the Small Arms Commission to work to ensure that we are all on board?
Well, I think that immediately CSO should be engaged. And the good thing is, yesterday, after the news conference, there was an engagement with the Small Arms Commission. Every CSO had the same thing to say. We were all opposed to the directive of the minister. And we got it off our chests. Our big brother, Dr. Adam Bona, listened to us. And hopefully we are able to meet the minister soon and find an amicable solution to this issue, which affects everybody. Otherwise, as CSOs, we will not stop. We will not stop agitating. We will not stop out the gaps, and we will not stop advocating for the right things to be done. But, I mean, this president listens, and security is, I think, is something that he really pays attention to, because I think immediately after his inauguration, his first official trip outside of Accra was Boku. So hopefully he would listen to us. Hopefully something would be done about this, and we would have it successfully implemented. But the most important thing for us as CSOs is for government to pass that bill into law.
Okay. Well, Adib, we are most grateful for your time this morning. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Adib Sani is a security expert joining us on the conversation, and this is where we end all of our conversations this morning here on ABC in the morning. Before we go, it's happy hour. Let's do some celebrations. This is a happy birthday going to our very own Dennis Osei Opoku Jemfi. Dennis Opoku Jemfi celebrates his birthday today. Dennis, a happy birthday to you from all of us here. Dennis on the Game Time team. Dennis, a happy birthday to you. We all celebrate you. We thank God for your life. We are so excited to have you as one of us. Thank you for all of the joy you bring to the newsroom, all of the conversations you bring, and how interesting you make Game Time every day. We wish you well. We pray for blessings for you as you advance. We pray that all that you seek to achieve, you will be able to achieve them, and that all your expectations are exceeded. They blow your mind. And so, Dennis, a happy birthday to you from all of us here. We really do appreciate and love you. We wish you the very best of today and the years ahead. Enjoy a very beautiful celebration, Dennis. A happy birthday. And that's how we wrap up today's show here on ABC in the morning. A big thank you to Niashi, Greater Accra Regional Chair of the Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana, to Kauni Anyete, so acting Head of Public Relations for the Small Arms and Light Weapons Commission, and to Adib Sani, security experts, for speaking with us today on the show. To you, my viewers, my callers, my texters, there's no ABC in the morning without you. I thank you, and I thank you so much. Thank you to the production and technical team for putting together today's show. Today's a beautiful Tuesday, the 7th day of June, 2026. I remind you that the World Cup is still ongoing. Ghana is out, but we are still watching the World Cup and cheering the other countries on to victory. At 12:30 p.m., the sports team, including the birthday boy, will be here to bring you Game Time you don't want to miss out on. But I remind you to keep your head